When you think of going to couples therapy, you may picture the inside of a therapist's office, but the documentary series Couples Therapy takes us behind those closed doors.
Now premiering its 4th season, we get a first-hand look at some weekly therapy sessions led by Dr. Orna Guralink, and we spoke with her to learn more about this season's couples. Dr. Guralnik, so good to have you here on Great Day Washington. Congrats on season 4. For somebody that hasn't checked out couples therapy yet, how would you explain what we can expect this season?
This is a docu-series, meaning it's a documentary following 4 couples. Actually, one of them is not a couple, it's a polycule, but 4 relationships through, on average, 18 weeks of therapy with me, from beginning to end.
What kind of issues are we exploring? I know you have a young couple, newlyweds. You mentioned the polyamorous trio. What are we going through this season?
We're going through very interesting issues that most people will find pretty easy to identify with. We have indeed a young couple, a newlywed couple, that are dealing with the fact that the woman comes from a pretty religious Orthodox background. Her mother is a devout Christian, and she is having trouble asserting boundaries with this mother and forming a new boundary around her marriage. She's having some inhibitions sexually that have to do with religious orientation. So that's an interesting thing for the two of them to negotiate. We have a couple that have a young child and are struggling with the typical issues around division of labor between them, different ideas of how to run a household together and how to negotiate difference. There is a very moving gay couple dealing, each of them coming into the relationship with pretty intense histories of childhood trauma, different kinds of trauma, and negotiating that in terms of how it affects their relationship now. They love each other fiercely and are working hard on how to deal with past trauma.
Well, so when you think of couples therapy, I usually think in the therapist's office, it's private, right? It's only for those in the room to know. So how do you get these folks to open up with cameras around, knowing that this is going to be seen by everybody?
I know, it sounds pretty impossible, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But, right. We thought it's impossible, but it's not. So part of it is there's a genius design, which is that in the therapy office, the place where I work with the couples, you don't see any cameras. The cameras are behind the walls, hidden. So the couples are only in contact with me, and we don't really feel the existence of all these cameras around us and the producers and sound system. We're not aware of it, meaning we lose awareness of it and we get very engrossed in the work itself. And then there's the fact that somehow the concentration, the intensity of the work draws the couples and myself in, and we forget. The documentary filmmakers told me that they're experienced documentarians, and they told me that that's typically what happens in documentary, that you just forget about the cameras, you forget about the fact that it's filmed, and you just get engrossed in the intensity of what we're dealing with.
Makes sense.
I think it seems brave to be able to share your story, because I think so many of us can relate and learn things. For you, for couples who are maybe watching and say, we have issues of ourselves, should everyone be going to therapy? Is this something you recommend for all couples?
For everyone? No, I don't think everyone should be going to therapy. I think couples therapy is good when people find that they're getting stuck or repeating behaviors that are not constructive. They try to work on it themselves, and they realize that they can't get out of a certain kind of pattern or groove that is disruptive. That's a good time to engage a therapist.
I found that interesting, really having that reason or that intention when you're going in there, what the focus is.
I learned a lot, and even from the little clips, I mean, you can tell people will learn a lot from this show.
It's just still amazing that people are open to presenting it to everybody, but I think we can all learn a little something from these couples. The 4th season of Couples Therapy is available to watch now on Paramount Plus with Showtime.